is thyroid. So today is very important topic, that is thyroid. We all know what is thyroid. It is present in our body, in our neck, and we will know its proper anatomy, its physiology, its pathophysiology, and about the medication which is used during the abnormality of the thyroid. So in this slide, this is about anatomy of the thyroid. We must know where the thyroid gland is situated. So basically thyroid is a gland which is present in our neck region, broadly if we speak. So embryologically, the gland arises from a midline invagination of root of the tongue and grows downward in front of trachea and thyroid cartilage to reach its normal position. So the thyroid comes from the root of the tongue. As we all know, the root of the tongue ends at the buccal cavity. From there, the thyroid gland arises and descends downward. It is a normal position of thyroid. While if it does not happen, if the gland does not descend, then there is some anomalies, there is some abnormalities, and this is known as lingual thyroid. We all know what is lingual. So lingula is present in a buccal cavity, and if the thyroid gland remain in lingual area, then it is known as lingual thyroid. So embryologically it arises from the root of the tongue. Now it comes about the anatomy of the thyroid gland. It goes like this. The thyroid, about embryologically, the thyroglossal duct that connects to the pharyngeal floor, normally which appears by 6th week of embryonic life. So now how the thyroid gland start. In adult, its proximal end is represented by foramen cecum at the base of the tongue and distal end by the pyramidal lobe of thyroid. So now it is all about how the thyroid gland is situated and what are the surrounding anatomy of the thyroid. So now if the thyroglossal duct remains in the adult, then it is known as thyroglossal cyst, which is a pathophysiology of thyroid. There are some C cells which are originated from the neuroectoderm, and these C cells are present in the thyroid. Thyroid gland in adult weighs around 15 to 40 gram and is composed of two lateral lobes connected in the midline by a broad isthmus which may have a pyramidal lobe extending upward. Now this is about the thyroid gland. That thyroid gland is like a butterfly shape. As we all know, it is a butterfly shape and it is connected by a mass which is known as isthmus. Along with that butterfly shape, the wings have 4 parathyroid gland. So one is thyroid gland and another one is parathyroid gland. These parathyroid glands are 4 in number and they are very small gland having lesser weight than the thyroid gland. These parathyroid gland help in calcium level, as they releases hormones like calcitonin, parathormone, while the thyroid hormone releases some hormones like thyroxine, T3, T4, as we all know, which have normal functioning in our body metabolism. So now thyroid is a butterfly shape like structure which is present in our neck and it is connected by the isthmus. Along with the butterfly wings, it has two P-shaped like structures, that is known as parathyroid gland one side, and two another P-shaped like structures on the another wing, that is parathyroid gland. So there are parathyroid gland are 4 in number while thyroid is 1. Now what are the major functions of the thyroid? So this slide is about the functions of the thyroid. As we all know, what role does the thyroid play? So thyroid play very much high rate of metabolism, which is done by means of iodine containing thyroid hormones, that is thyroxine T4, thyroxine triiodothyronine, that is T3. So T4 and T3, these are the hormones which are released from the thyroid. So thyroid help in body metabolism. It regulates the iodine content in our body, which is essential for body growth. As we all know, the growth hormone, which is present in our pituitary, anterior pituitary, also run by iodine. So growth hormone also have an act on thyroid. These are the functions of the thyroid, and the major functions which come in the life, in the day to day's life, are its stimulus is as puberty, pregnancy, physiologic stress, and various pathologic states. Now, the functional liability of the thyroid is responsible for transient hyperplasia of the thyroidal epithelium. If there is increase in number of cells of the thyroid gland, then that is known as the hyperplasia of the thyroid, and it is also known as carcinoma of the thyroid. Because of this carcinoma of the thyroid, there will be increase in release of T3 and T4. Now, we must know this, that how the hormone work. So there is one hormone, that is TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. This thyroid stimulating hormone comes from anterior pituitary, from our brain. This anterior pituitary beside the hypothalamus. So the signals come from anterior pituitary about thyroid stimulating hormone, and then thyroid gland releases T3 and T4. So this is how the hormone works. Now next is about, if there is increase in number of the thyroid cells, then that is known as hyperplasia of the thyroid epithelium. Now this hyperplasia is also known as cancer of thyroid, and there will be increase in hormone also. Under normal condition, the epithelial lining of follicles may show changes in various phases of function as under. One is resting phase, another one is secretory phase, third one is resorptive phase, and fourth one is coupling of MIT and DIT. So now first one is resting phase. What is resting phase? In this, the large follicles lined by flattened cells and filled with deeply staining homogeneous colloid. So in this, the cells are in their flattened state and there is no functioning of the cell. Next one is secretory phase. In this, those cells which were flattened in above stage, they become cuboidal and become dark pink in color. Now resorptive phase. In this, they turn as columnar. So first it is flattened, second in secretory phase it is cuboidal, and next it turns into the columnar epithelium. Now its synthesis releases T3 and T4. So the how it involves the following steps is iodine trapping by thyroidal cells involving absorbing of iodine from the blood. So iodine which we intake from our diet is absorbed here. Now next one is oxidation of iodine, which is done by help of peroxidase, that is an enzyme. Third one is iodinization occur next at microvilli level between the oxidized iodine and the tyrosine reduced of thyroglobulin. This thyroglobulin is the one which connect the thyroids, and then this form MIT, that is monoiodotyrosine, and diiodotyrosine, that is DIT. Now there is coupling of MIT and DID and forms the T3 and T4. If the thyroid hormone will released by endocytosis of colloid and proteolysis of thyroglobin with the follicular cell, resulting in discharge of T3 and T4 into circulation, where they are bound into thyroxine bind globulin. Now this T3 and T4 is formed. This T3 and T4 level can be seen by the immunoassay, that is radio immunoassay RIA. This is all about physiology and anatomy of the thyroid gland. Thank you.